at home. On the 14th floor in a bedroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the bodies mix, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 187 of Fired Up Sports. Check us out, firedupsports.com. I'm Mike Gilletto. Joining me as always, Dom Consul. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
Not a whole lot going on. We got some Phillies baseball tonight. Nice little lead over the Braves. I mean, listen, it's too early to obviously look at standings, but like I think it's with how bad of a start the Braves have had, they might be like done. Like they're done.
I don't know if you saw over the weekend. There was a thing going around Twitter, or at least this is where I saw it. There's no team in the MLB in the history of MLB that has made the postseason after starting 0-7.
Right. And they're, I think, 2-7 now, or
1-8,
1-8,
something like that.
So, again, it's very early. Things can happen. They could rack off.
Oh
10
yeah,
or
I
13,
expect them.
But
I expect them to do that, especially as they get healthier.
Sure, and they're kind of threatening here. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna have to get out of this one. Obviously, Atlanta cuts it within one, but it's like you said, it's early to be kind of these games. You want to win them, but it's hard to make the playoffs and lose the playoffs in April.
Yeah, for sure.
The one thing I did want to kind of talk about is we mentioned it a little bit last week, but he did it. The grade 8 Alex Ovechkin.
Yes.
Broke Wayne Gretzky's record. Did you watch it all? Like live?
So I watched. So I watched. It started. The game started at 12:30. The Phillies started at 1:30. So I watched from 12:30 to 1:30. I as soon as I turned the Phillies on, because I think it happened in the bottom of the first. I didn't feel like going. I didn't feel like going upstairs to get my tablet to watch it on my tablet.
Yeah.
But I heard the news that it broke, and I changed it. I switched it right away, and then just rewinded it.
Yeah.
Like when it happened, and then watched it, and then watched the whole like ceremony. And
what's your opinion on that? Like a whole 10-15 minute ceremony.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I'm cool with it.
I'm fine with it too, but I know there's some people that didn't like it. Thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah. No, my wife asked me that. Like, she's like, "This is kind of weird," but yeah, I think it's like well deserved. I think that's a huge, not just hockey. Like that's a huge sports like.
Oh yeah, that was kind of the
record.
Yeah, that was the top of the conversation in the whole entire sports world over the last week.
It's also like one of those things that like, oh, that'll never be broken.
Right?
Obviously, it's not like the points. It's not the points record like that. Probably never be broken.
No,
but,
that would never be broken.
But like it was up there with like in conversation of like, nah, that'll never be broken. And then obviously, what's he at? Is he at 40 plus yet?
Age or goals this year?
Goals.
42.
Okay.
And
I know he's 39. He'll be 40 in September.
I don't know what month, but I know he's 39. Yeah, it was 42, but he's only played like 68 or 69 games.
Right. He was out a few weeks,
Yeah, he was out. Well, he broke his leg. Like, it's kind of crazy the season that he's had at 39, breaking your leg. Yeah, it was. I made it an effort to watch that whole game, and like I know that it kind of bled into the Phillies, but like there's 162 Phillies games a year. I've only seen
you only break one record. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's a once in a lifetime thing, so I didn't put the Phillies game on until after that happened.
Yeah. It's so funny how both of the records. So when Gretzky broke the record, he also played the Islanders. So that was pretty funny.
And then the other weird thing is Gordie Howe set the record. I forget what year, but on April 6th,
Okay.
Um, when in 2005 or six, when Ovechkin was going to the Capitals, the Washington Capitals won the draft lottery on April 6th, and then he broke
Oh,
Wayne Gretzky's record
that's
on
kind of
April.
weird. It was that
A
early.
little weird, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird that it was, but I think they used. I'm trying to think. That is weird that it was that early. Oh, you know what? That might have been the lockout year. That's probably why it was so early.
Okay, so was that 04?
04, 05. I
Yeah.
think there was the lockout.
Um.
Oh wait, no, it would have been the year before the. Maybe it was that lockout year. I'd have to think about time. I'm probably off by a year somewhere,
Yeah.
but it does seem a little early for a lottery.
I also saw that they did it almost the same amount of games too.
Um,
Ovechkin and Gretzky, or like Ovi might have been like one game less or so.
they each. I think he broke the record in the same amount of games that it took Gretzky to do what he did. But so technically, I think right now they have the same amount of games played.
Record. Do you know what the number was when Gretzky broke it?
I don't.
I was just curious how many he had after. Like,
It was 860 something.
what is it? 894 or
It's
195 now?
894. Is it now 895? Yeah,
Okay.
I could look it up because I'm kind of curious what Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember off the top of my head. Gordie Howe, 801.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought it'd be a lot higher. Like I thought it'd be closer to the 894
Especially because Gordie Howe played for fucking ever.
ever. Yeah. So I mean, so is Ovechkin. You know. At this
Yeah, well,
point.
Ovechkin and Gretzky have both
Years.
played. They've both played 1,487 games, so
Okay.
far, and Gordie Howe played 1,767. So almost 1,800 games, almost 400 or 300 more games
Right than those guys.
than Ovechkin and Gretzky. Which 300 more games? That's what 5 seasons extra.
It just proves that it's harder to score a goal
Yeah.
in today's game than it is ever before.
Yep.
Even if you never broke the record, I still think you could have made the argument that he's the greatest goal scorer ever.
Yep. Did you see there was a clip going around of Elliot Friedman interviewing him about 5, 6, 7 years
It
ago?
was 2016, yeah.
Was it 2016? Okay.
Yeah.
You saw this clip?
Yeah, because he asked him if he would break. He said, "Well, I got to do it another 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is."
He's like, I gotta have 6
50 plus
seasons,
goals. Yeah,
50 plus
yeah,
goals.
that's what it was. 6 seasons. Right.
He's like, I don't even know if I could skate in 6 seasons.
Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of hope that, like, if that record ever becomes, fathomable, like to break again, that he does the same thing that Gordie Howe did to Gretzky and Gretzky did to him. Just kind of be humble, and I'm sure he will. Like Ovi will. He seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But like humble about it and like showing up and saying, "I hope he breaks." Whether it's like Austin Matthews or somebody, because it's like the first guy I could think of off the top of my head.
That's people are kind of speculating like if this records gets broken again, there's really only probably one guy in the current NHL, like the current players that could do it, and it's Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't have the exact numbers
Tie
off the
game.
top of my head, but like if you tie game. But if you I'm surprised it was Strom. I was gonna say I'm surprised Wheeler stayed in as long as he did, to be honest with you. But so if you look at like the career goals per game like stats, I think Gretzky and Ovechkin are right around like 0.6 goals a game, and like Austin Matthews is like 0.64 goals a game.
Wow.
So like theoretically, again, health is a
On
big factor
pace.
there, obviously.
Right.
But if he plays, a lot, and he could theoretically down the road. But he the last couple of years he kind of struggled with like staying healthy. So
Well, I was gonna say that's the key because like Ovechkin probably beats the record without 2 lockouts, the COVID year, and X amount of any injuries that he had.
it's also crazy like the fact that he didn't have injuries because like I think he's like 200 to 250 hits shy of being the all-time leader in hits too.
Right.
It's like so he was
He's
a lunatic.
Big body too.
He's a lunatic killing everybody out there and scores the most amount of goals in the history of the sport. It's like how is he not getting hurt by like just banging the wrong body?
Where does he rank all time, you think?
Like players overall?
Yeah, like obviously probably the greatest goal scorer ever. Like it's just in terms of like all around player.
It's a good question. I don't like. I wouldn't put him. Obviously, I mean, I know he broke Gretzky's record. I wouldn't put him up there with Gretzky.
No,
Wouldn't put him up there with Lemieux.
no,
Wouldn't put him up there with or
right.
who am I forgetting else at the top? Well, I don't think I would put him up there with Yager, although I think that's close. He's
Yeah.
He's a top 10 player of all time
Okay.
at this point.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 10 than 1.
But yeah,
All time is Crosby better.
I was about to ask you if you think.
I think
it's
Crosby.
so close.
It's close, but I think Crosby.
I think Crosby's the better overall player.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. I think he makes his teams better. I think he's just better on defense, better on both sides of the puck. But
Yeah,
I would definitely give it to Crosby. But Ovechkin's a better goal scorer.
Face-offs,
Yeah. He does more. He controls more.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me to say it as a Flyers fan, but
Yeah, well,
I've learned to respect Crosby.
of course.
I don't hate him anymore. I can just kind of
No.
respect it.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
And it's not my fault the Flyers have been a fucking mess. So why would I hate Crosby because the Flyers can't get their shit together?
Right, 05 to like 2016. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I get it, but
No, I really hated them in like the 2010 to 2014
Yeah, of
range.
course.
Like when
Yeah.
they were battling the playoffs and they had all those fights back in 2013, 14.
yeah.
But yeah. So another thing I kind of want to talk about tonight. We haven't done trivia in a while. Okay. So
Trivia?
what?
Are you gonna hit me with trivia?
I'm gonna hit you with some trivia.
Let's go.
Now, because I figured other than like baseball, there's really not a whole lot to talk about other than that, right?
Right.
Because I mean, we're kind of just waiting for the draft at this point. And we'll get to them. The draft's later this month, right? NFL draft.
16 days, I think.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in the next like couple shows. But I use the help. You're gonna laugh at me. I use the help of ChatGPT.
Oh, I use ChatGPT every day.
All right, I don't use it often, but I figured I'm lazy.
Yeah.
So let's do. I typed in at first. I typed in like top 10 or top 20. Philadelphia sports trivia questions and
Yeah.
answers. Blah blah. And it gave me like most of them were like basic generic shit that like
yeah.
obviously would know.
What
Like-
number does Allen Iverson wear? Yeah.
It was like one of them was about Allen Iverson. It's like who did the Sixers draft first overall in
yeah.
1996? Another one was like
back
what?
when I was doing the trivia like a lot, like every show. Remember we used to do that. I used to give you the trivia every show.
Yep.
Every time looking up questions, it was just like, how do I get away from these like really really easy questions?
Sure. Another one was like, what was the name of the place the Phillies played before Citizens Bank Park? So
Right.
you know that obviously.
Right.
So then I changed it to random 20. I think I put 20, and then if there's any too easy, we can skip them because I haven't read them yet. But I was like top or random 20 hardest questions for Philly sports.
Okay.
Trivia. So we'll see. I haven't read these, so I don't know how hard. If there's
Okay.
any easy ones, we can just kind of skip over them. But we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Question number 1: who was the Philadelphia Eagles starting quarterback when they won their first NFC championship in 1980? Jaworski, yep. I feel like first, just by looking at it, I think the first couple of these are going to be easy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets harder.
I'll get warm here. We'll warm
Which
up.
Phillies pitcher was
You
named?
warm up in the bullpen. You don't go right out
Exactly.
unless you're that one guy that 1 year. Remember, the Phillies. Gabe Kapler did that.
Yes. Well,
Your guy.
Yes,
Go
my guy Gabe Kapler. Which Phillies pitcher was named World Series MVP in 08? You know that obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. What year did the Flyers last win the Stanley Cup? I feel like you know that.
75.
The all-time leading scorer for the 76ers.
Is that Iverson?
No,
Is it Wilt?
it is Wilt.
Okay, that was my
Uh,
first guess, but I just thought the 3-point shot, was
Right.
not
No, it makes
around.
sense. Who was the first Philadelphia Eagles player to have his number retired?
Ooh,
It's an interesting question.
is that Van Buren?
No, it is not.
Ben Derek?
It is Ben Derek. Yep.
Okay.
Which player did the 76ers select with the first overall pick in the 2001 NBA draft?
Ellen? No.
No.
No, I know. He was 96.
Yeah, 96. Yep.
2001. Is that what you said?
2001. Yeah.
Ooh, too late for Sean Bradley. 2001. NBA draft. Is it like a notable guy?
I know the name.
Okay.
It says he was traded to the Washington Wizards. If that helps.
Oh, so he wasn't even our guy. Like,
I guess I don't know.
interesting. Like, I need to, when was he traded to Washington? Like,
I don't know.
During the draft?
I could Google this
yeah,
player.
yeah. Like, I need to know if he was traded during the draft or like.
Let's see if this guy played any games for the 76ers. So he never. So he in the 01-02 season, which would have been a rookie season, he played for the Wizards. So I guess they traded him right afterwards. He did end up playing for the Sixers in 2012, 2013, one season.
Ooh.
So that would have been like, is that process error or is that right before process
right
error?
like the year before.
Yeah.
Or that might actually been the first year.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might
Play for the
let's go back.
Wizards.
Let's come back to that.
All right, okay. Let's see here. Who was the Philadelphia Phillies' first baseman during their 1980 World Series win?
Larry Boa.
It says Pete Rose. Is that right?
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Right, okay.
Yeah, Boa was shortstop. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right, okay. What was the original name? Okay, you know this one of the Philadelphia Flyers home arena before the Wells Fargo Center. This actually is technically wrong, but
Right before the Wells Fargo.
well, all right. So it says the original name of the Philadelphia Flyers home arena before the Wells Fargo Center, but like that's a trick question.
Right, because there's multiple, right?
Well, the answer here is wrong.
Okay.
I think it means what was the building before they built the Wells Fargo Center is what I think they mean.
Oh, the Spectrum.
Because it's that's the answer. It's the
Right.
Spectrum. See, this one ChatGPT is not perfect.
Right.
Which Eagles wide receiver caught the game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 52?
Ertz.
It says Alshon Jeffrey, but I don't. Is that true?
But like receiver or like.
That's true.
Ertz-
It's just wide.
Ertz-
It's just wide receiver. Ertz is a tight end.
Okay.
It says what Eagles
But
wide receiver.
but like he.
But it's not the game-winning touchdown. You know what? ChatGPT, I'm starting to think sucks. All right, we'll continue. In what year did the Philadelphia 76ers win their most recent championship? This sounds crazy because of how long ago it was, but I guess it's true.
I'm sorry. One more time.
In what year did the Philadelphia 76ers win their most recent NBA championship?
83.
83. Which Philadelphia Flyers player scored the game-winning goal in the 1975 Stanley Cup Finals against the Buffalo Sabres? I don't think you'll get this.
Okay. Ashby.
No, Rick McLeish.
Okay. I know who that is. I would have never gotten that.
Yeah, I had a feeling you knew who it was, but I didn't think you would. Yeah. Which 76er player was known as the Big Dipper during his time with the team?
Is that Wilt?
Yep, that is Wilt. What year did the Philadelphia Eagles win their first Super Bowl? Obviously, you know that one.
No, I don't know that one.
Technically 2018.
Well, yeah, 2017.
It was the 2017 season. Who was the first Philadelphia Phillies player to hit 500 career home runs?
Schmidt.
Yep. Who holds the record for most career rushing touchdowns in Eagles history?
I'm sorry. I thought Schwarber just hit a bomb, but it was foul. Say that again.
That was very close. Who holds the record for most career rushing yards in Eagles history?
Like all time, like McCoy.
Yeah, McCoy.
Okay.
Who was the starting goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers during their back-to-back Stanley Cup wins in the mid-70s?
Perron.
You know that one, yep. What Philadelphia 76ers player was a key part of the team's 83 championship win along with Julius Erving?
Moses Malone.
Moses Malone, yep. This isn't as interesting as I thought it'd be. These questions kind of suck. What year did the Philadelphia Flyers Bobby Clark win the Hart Trophy as NHL MVP?
I missed the beginning of that.
What year did the Philadelphia Flyers Bobby Clark win the Hart Trophy as
74.
NHL MVP? 73-74 season. Here's one I think you'll get. What was the name of the Philadelphia Eagles' original home stadium before Lincoln Financial Field?
Oh no, I don't know that.
Which Philadelphia is the last question I have? Which Philadelphia Phillies pitcher was known as the Bulldog and had a standout career in the 1980s?
Pitcher?
Yep.
I don't fucking know. Carlton?
John Denny.
No, I don't know who that is.
All right, back to this other one. Which player did the 76ers select the first overall pick? Also, was Iverson not 96? What year was Iverson drafted? Because I'm confused.
I thought it was 96.
Well, it says, which player did the Philadelphia 76ers select with the first overall pick in 2001 NBA draft? Answer, and then gives me an answer, and then it says, but was traded to the Washington Wizards in exchange for another pick, Allen Iverson.
No, Iverson was in the 90s.
That's what I thought too.
Allen Iverson. I got to make sure. Yeah, the first overall pick in '96.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was the Kobe draft too. I think Kobe was drafted that year too.
I think JaBBD's wrong because I don't see anything about him drafting.
Well, like the NBA draft, you can like draft somebody and then trade them that night, or like
I know, I
trade-
understand. I understand that, but like, I'm looking at him getting drafted. It says I'm looking at his Wikipedia.
Who is it?
says Kwame Brown.
Oh yeah. Kwame
Did they
Brown.
dra-
yeah.
did
They
they
drafted Kwame Brown.
okay.
Yeah. That's weird.
Because like it's, I'm looking at his Wikipedia and it says originally signing a letter of intent to play for the University of Florida. He later declared for the 2001 NBA draft. The Washington Wizards under team president Michael Jordan used their first overall pick on him. Following a pre-draft workout with the Wizards, it has been reported that Brown told then Wizard coach Doug Collins, "If you draft me, you'll never forget it." So it doesn't say anything about the Sixers being involved in that process.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I think ChatGPT might be wrong, or I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a failure.
It's okay.
I'm never going to use ChatGPT.
I don't think that it's as bad as you think it is.
I thought those questions sucked. I was expecting better.
Some of them were a little, like, tripped me up.
Yeah. That's fair. All right. Now that we got all that out of the way, Phillies. What's your thought so far of trying Sosa out in the outfield? I'm curious.
I think it's fine if it happens like 5 times a year.
Okay.
Maybe not,
All right.
5, but it's not gonna happen 5. It's gonna happen more than that. But like as close as the single digits as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The home run. Did you see the Rob? The
I actually didn't. I heard about it.
Rob
I did not see it. No.
It was a really, really, really bad good play.
Okay.
The way he tracked the ball was like looked like me out there.
Yeah, but can
then
he
he made
learn?
it to
Can
the
he learn
wall.
that though?
Oh sure, yeah.
You can learn- you
That's
can
why
learn that.
I'm not like super mad because he's not an outfielder. But like he didn't run to the wall and jump. He ran to the wall, stopped, and then waited for the ball to come down, and he jumped, which is like, pretty impressive for a guy that's never played left field in his life.
Yeah.
And then in the first inning, robbing a homer. It was a big play. But overall, like I just don't think this is probably like a good thing for a team that's trying to compete.
I did. Okay, I just watched the play. No, I hear you, but I think it's worth trying because, like, I think they do have kind of
At least until the deadline.
Oh yeah, but I think they do have issues kind of in the outfield. I think like Marsh and Rojas aren't everyday players, and I don't even know if Sosa is really.
No, he's not.
But
He's a very good bench player.
He's playing well.
He's a very good bench player. Exactly how they're using them is probably the extent of what you use him for. Like playing 2-3 times a week, even if that. Putting him in a position, playing second base one night, third base, 2 nights later, playing, shortstop one night. Like it's what they're doing is fine. He should not be playing every day. He's just the reason why he succeeds so much is because he's one of the few guys in this lineup you could throw strikes to, and he's good enough to get some hits off of it. The reason he doesn't walk that much is because teams are able to throw strikes against him. That's why he doesn't walk much. So it's just a good combination. He's just a very good bench player. You could argue he is the best or one of the best bench players in Phillies history, like all time.
Yeah,
he's very, very good, and he's very, very. It's good that he plays multiple positions too, and he's a right-handed bat.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like the guy. He's just not an everyday player.
No, but baseball's kind of a game of streaks, and I think you ride the hot
Sure.
hand until you can't anymore.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with playing him while he's hot. But he's not going to be in he's not going to like automatically grow into this like, or all of a sudden grow into this everyday player. Like he's just not.
Yeah, no. So far the first couple weeks, there's been a lot of good, but the one thing I do kind of want to touch on is what's the deal with Roman Romano or Jordan Romano?
It's Romano.
Romano. It's Romano.
That's Romano.
It's Romano. I know you're telling me it's Romano, but it's Romano.
Right. No, I pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Who said it was Romano? He did. I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's worried about pitching instead of worrying about your last name.
You're gonna tell him his last name is wrong. Who
Yes.
else was it that we were talking about? Oh, Dario Saric.
Saric. There's no it's Saric.
He's
Saric.
European though.
I don't. You're in America. It's Saric.
I mean, you're factually wrong, but okay.
I understand I'm wrong, but it's
yeah.
You look at it on paper, it's Sarge.
I mean, the Romano thing, like, I just think it's so early in the season. It's too early in the season to say like, okay, this guy sucks, which is why I'm not against him pitching. I just don't understand in that Dodgers game on Sunday why you put him against 9, 1, and 2 in the lineup, and 1 and 2 are Ohtani and Betts, and they wind up, take the lead at that point. Just if you know the guy's not working right now, that doesn't mean he can't work in May, June, July, August. I just don't understand putting him in that kind of spot or in that situation.
Yeah, and that was kind of my big issue with the offseason is like you need the bullpen to improve. You were losing Hoffman, and like their big guy was Jordan Romano, and it's just like I just think it was too big of a risk. And obviously it's early; it could work out, but like the early return on it, he's been terrible.
Well, I think the way that I think about it like this is a couple of things. I think they look at it as high risk, low
risk, high reward.
Yeah, low risk, high reward because he was so cheap and he's been so good in his career up until last year when he was hurt.
But it becomes a high risk when you keep using them, and again, it could change. But when you keep using them in high leverage situations,
I'm not talking about that specifically. I don't disagree with that. I'm talking about how you're saying this is who they replace Hoffman with. My guess is that listen, they didn't give him much money. It's a 1-year deal. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Number two, the starting pitchers, and again, it's very early. It's too early for these guys to throw 7, 8, 9 innings according to analytics to what the Phillies do. So I think that they feel like their starting pitching is so good that they're not going to have to rely on the bullpen as much. And also, they're gonna go into the deadline like this. They're gonna go into the deadline saying, if the bullpen just is not working out, we'll add. And also, I think that they're really hoping on Kerkering to really take a big leap.
Yeah, and the plan is probably eventually if Painter could come up, you move somebody else to the bullpen and kind of structure your bullpen that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in the playoffs, if Ranger stays healthy and is good enough, he's probably the odd man out.
Big if.
Sure. He's probably the man that goes to the bullpen. Honestly, probably two of them move to the bullpen.
Walker. Well, I mean, Walker would move there, I would assume.
Oh, he's not even on he's not on the team in October.
He pitched well his first start.
Sure. We'll see.
Has he had another one since? I was gonna say I don't think he's had another start since.
No, just one. I was at that game too.
You got a nice outing out of him. I was against the Rockies, but you got a nice outing.
He got hit hard.
He did
hit hard.
Yep.
But yeah, he's not even in my mind come October.
Yeah,
he's not even in my mind come July.
Fair fuck.
Yep.
Who would have thought that this would be this high scoring of a game in a game where Zach Wheeler and Chris Sale pitch?
Right. Well, I think the Sale thing. I think he just had a really good year last year. I think this is who he is.
I don't think he's been bad this year. It's 2
starts.
He's only
2 starts, right?
Yeah, but he's gotten hit hard his first couple starts.
Well,
I don't
remember
think
he was this bad 2 years ago. He was this bad 2.
He was dealing with it. He was dealing with an injury, was he not?
2 years ago, I'm not sure.
I think he was coming off an injury, like a back injury or something.
All I'm saying is he has not been the same guy since like 2020.
Sure.
Last year was what he was before like 2020.
Yeah.
So I just think this is a little bit more of who he is, and I think last year was just kind of a, an outlier.
An outlier. Yeah,
he just had a great year, and the error in center field tonight really fucked Wheeler up. 300 runs.
I didn't see the error.
Oh, it was bad. It was
Was
really,
it?
really bad. It was a fly ball. No, Marsh didn't play tonight. It was a fly ball.
I thought I saw Marsh out there.
Rojas.
Did I not?
Well, he may
Rojas.
come in, but Rojas started. A fly ball to left center. It's Rojas's ball to begin with, but Sosa comes running in, and I guess he calls him off. And the last minute, Sosa kind of stops, and the ball just drops. And I think it was Riley. I don't know how many outs there were, but he gets the second. Wheeler walks the next guy, and then Sean Murphy hits a 3-run homer.
No.
I think it was 2 outs actually.
That can't happen then.
No, you know.
Cannot happen.
So it's obviously you shouldn't have walked the guy, and you shouldn't give up the homer, but like you kind of screw Wheeler there.
I also hate baseball because I'm looking at the box score and if it's as egregious as you said, they didn't give him an error for it.
Well, he didn't play on it. They just watched it drop.
That should be an error to me. I understand you didn't drop the ball.
I think that's a different conversation than saying it is an error.
Sure.
What should be an error and is an error are two different things.
No, I agree. It's probably not an error, but it should be an error. It's like the opening weekend.
It's the same thing as if the ball just blooped in and he just didn't get to it.
No, it's different. Yeah, you gave an effort.
Factually, you're incorrect.
I don't know how.
Because nobody played the ball.
Okay, probability that ball should have been caught. What do you put it at?
Factually?
Yes.
I don't know the number. Probably close to 100.
And it's an error.
Well, it's never going to be 100, but it's 98, 99.
If there's a 99% chance a ball should be caught and it's not caught, it's an error.
But, like, what if the ball's in the air and you get struck by lightning and you can't catch the ball?
Was there a 99% chance of catching it? That's an error.
Before lightning, yeah.
It's an error, yeah. It's an error.
Listen. Factually, you're incorrect, but
it's like it is true among baseball. Like I think the opening weekend, JT hits one down the line, and who do they play?
Cruz. It was Cruz.
Was
Cruz
it Washington?
Yeah.
Should have had it. Hit his glove.
Listen,
and they called a triple, not an error.
You're preaching to the choir about guys that should get, rung up for errors. Then but they count it as a hit. Yep. I totally get it. I totally understand. But factually, that wasn't an error. Did you watch it?
I didn't.
Have you looked up? No. See if you can look it up.
Oh, yeah,
it's really bad, dude. And Rojas just it literally fell right in front of his feet, and he was just I don't know, one, he has to take charge. 2, that's his ball to begin with, and 3, he just watched it. He didn't even try to get out of Sosa's way. He just stood there.
Jesus Christ!
He just stood there. And he just watched it.
They both did.
It's way worse for Rojas.
I'm sorry. That's an error. That's an error. I know he didn't try. I know he didn't catch it.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be in terms of what the league should change to, but factually
I'm
it's
so
not.
Confused. Because it's not like the ball falls in between them.
No, it's
Rojas,
right in front of Rojas.
It hits him in the foot, basically.
Right. That's what I said. It falls at his feet. It's not like he the last second was oh shit, let me try to go grab it. He literally just watched it. He literally look at me. He literally went.
I was looking at the play.
No, he literally went like this.
Yeah, and then didn't react oh shit, what just happened? He just casually picked the ball up.
He stood there for half a second after too, and just looked at it.
It's a fucking wild.
Was that 2 outs?
1 out.
Oh, okay.
1 out. That's wild. I don't know if I've ever seen a blunder as bad as that.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
You can't fault Sosa too much. Listen, he's a professional baseball player. I'm sure he's had a pop up to shortstop where he's had to call somebody off. So he does have to hold a little bit of responsibility. But Rojas,
And I'm
this is
sure
his first. This
I'm
is his first game in left field,
Sure.
and you know this. Like, you have to take charge.
Take
as a
control.
center
Yeah.
fielder.
Yeah.
Like, you
take
have
control.
to let him know. Like, I have to be on my toes even more.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean the center field should be like the captain of the outfield. Like you
Sure.
take control.
Yeah, it's his ball anyway.
It is, yeah. It literally hits him in the foot. Like,
Right.
oh, it's nuts. So the one bright spot is Phillies. I know people like to bitch about Nola, but like overall, I think the Phillies rotation's been great. I have no
Luzardo looks
complaints.
amazing.
Luzardo looks great.
Did you hear the new nickname for him?
No, I don't think
Zeus.
so. Zeus?
Yeah.
Why Zeus?
Hey Zeus. Zeus.
Oh, Zeus. Okay, I like
'Cause
that. I
I think
like that.
I think they in Miami they called him the Lizard.
Okay.
But because people were talking on Twitter like we have to have something for when October comes like just imagine a strikeout and the whole crowd yelling Zeus.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. I could get behind that.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, no, he's
maybe,
been great.
maybe they do like a lightning bolt
Yep.
every time he strikes somebody out. I don't know.
But he's been great. Like he looks like a Cy Young type pitcher right now.
Yeah, he looks
Obviously
really
it's
good.
early, but
Sanchez looks really good too. I know they're adding against the Dodgers. Dude, I'll give you one guess on who texted me after the Nola outing.
Your brother-in-law.
No,
Okay, my father.
no, it's nobody in our family.
Friend of the show, Doug.
No. You're thinking way too deep.
Chris.
Yeah, hates Nola. So he texted
That's
me.
right, he does hate Nola.
So
That's
I'll
right.
read the text. And this was because when they play at 4:00.
Saturday they did play 4. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what time. It's 7:20. Hours after Nola came out of the game. I said, Nola worth that contract, huh? I said, well, he had a quality start.
He did have a quality start, and other than giving up that home run, like he was fine.
And I get but you don't hear anything from people the day after when Sanchez gave up more runs. It's the fucking Dodgers. I get it. Nola has a history of the home run thing. I understand. But the fucking guy has 200 strikeouts every year. I think last year was 3 shy of 200. I've gone 6 or 5 or 6 straight years of 200 plus. I know strikeouts are up, but there are not many guys that have 5-6 straight years of 200 plus strikeouts. The home run thing is an issue, but I don't know, man. I just think he's a really good number 3. I do, and that's what he is.
I agree as well, and I think the problem is people kind of, I don't know if expectations or the perception was that he was supposed to be an ace, and
Right.
people have always put him to that standard. And since
Well, I
he
think
isn't
early
that,
on, that was fair because I think
sure.
one year he finished top 3.
Yeah,
in
in
Cy
Cy Young
Young.
voting. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that was probably what, 2018, 2017?
Right. Right.
We're going back a while.
pre Bryce Harper.
Right. And so people kind of held on to that expectation for his whole career now, essentially, and
And
he's
I
just
think-
not that.
And I think this year is the first year where he is a number 3.
Yeah.
I think last year he was a number 2, and the year before that, and the year before that. I think when Wheeler became the ace, I think that is really what pushed Nola as the number 2, and now he's the number 3. And I get it, $25 million a year for a number 3 pitcher who gives up a lot of home runs. I get it, but again, you're getting the ERA, you're getting the strikeouts that you're getting from him, the innings that he eats. He's durable. He pitches how many innings a year?
And I'll be honest, you look around the league and you see what the Dodgers spend or what the Yankees spend. I don't care about money. It's not my money.
Right.
Who cares? I
Also-
don't care if he's making $25 million. Who cares?
In 3, 4, 5 years, that's gonna be not normal for a number 3 pitcher, but kind of.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna age well.
Sure.
He might not, but
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
yeah, right. Who gives a shit about in 4 years?
Yeah, right. His team might be terrible in 4 years. You don't know.
Right. And at that point, who gives a shit?
Right. You're not going to have Casty. You're not going to have Schwarber. I mean, and if you do, they're both going to be older.
Right. You're
You
gonna
know,
have
Harper's 3
Harper's
years
gonna be
older.
close to 40. Yeah.
Turner, who knows what Turner is?
Right.
So, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of see what happens here. I mean, it has kind of been frustrating. I know tonight's kind of a little different, but like the Phillies can't hit starting pitching for some reason. Once they get to the bullpen, they're fine, but they struggle with starting pitching.
Up until Sunday, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
They got the glass now, dude. Another guy, like another like. Oh, it rained, so like he couldn't pitch. Like, did you
Yeah.
see all that? Like how
No,
much he bitched
No.
during the game. Like he was so frustrated that it was like raining. And like I get it. Like he most of his career was in a dome, and then he went to LA last year, and it never rains in Southern California.
Wasn't he the one that was like physically crying about being banned from the sticky stuff being banned?
I don't know.
I'd have to look it up. Let me see if I can find it. Like when they were talking about the whole sticky stuff being banned, I think it was him that like went on about like he was like crying about it being banned.
Yeah. But yeah, like there was clay in his shoes, like the dirt was all in his shoes, and like you could tell he was like pissed off, and he walked the bases loaded, gave up the grand or no, he didn't give up the grand slam, but he essentially loaded the bases twice in that inning, and set up Castellanos to hit the grand slam off of I forget his name, begins with a V, bullpen guy, lefty. I know
what you're talking about.
Yeah. But ever since that game, so that's 2 games in a row, they've gotten the starting pitching. So we're getting there. It takes Rome wasn't built in a week.
Absolutely. I do have this clip, by the way. It's like 2 minutes long. It was Tyler Glass.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen here.
I have a question for you after we play this.
Okay.
I think we played this on the show before.
I'm sure we did when it happened. This was in. It doesn't have a year. See if I can find that in a second.
Probably like
2022.
2022.
I believe that contributed to me getting hurt. No doubt, without a doubt.
I think I actually agreed with him too.
I think like it's ridiculous. Like, I have used sticky stuff before. It's ridiculous that like it seems like this whole public perception of like, oh, it's just like select few people. Like your favorite pitcher probably 50 years ago was using something too. Like
that's Ray's pitcher, Tyler Glass now, and it's very interesting to.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. But yeah, it's the whole like 2-minute thing about him just crying about how he got hurt because the MLB.
I think I agreed with that when it.
Did you?
I still probably do.
I get his overall point, but the fact that like he was, you're saying he's complaining about like the rain, it just kind of checks out.
Yeah, right. With the torpedo bat, obviously we talked about it last week. Do you think pitchers should be allowed to use a little bit of stuff again? Because like, did you see what Schramm said?
No.
He basically said like, so you're just making it even easier, not easier, but like you're allowing the offense to flourish even more, but like I can't use a little bit of stuff and like.
And what I would tell him to that is look around the rest of the sports. All they want is offense.
Yeah, but that's still not like fair.
I understand it's not fair, but like the NBA, you're not allowed to play much defense anymore. The fucking NFL, you can't hit anybody. Like these leagues want offense.
Sure.
And that's what I think that's what Major League just doesn't care about.
But I just think that makes like the pitchers even less. Like the top guys probably lose a little bit, but like those middle guys that are like really good pitchers or just good pitchers, like I don't know. I just think it like kind of puts them has a chance to put them a little bit lower.
So I'd have to see, because I know in the first like week the whole conversation was the torpedo bats. I'd have to see what kind of effect they have.
I actually don't think personally. I think it's too early to tell. At this point,
it's very early to tell.
Even though the numbers are up, I still think it's a little too early to tell. I think you got to give it a few months.
I agree.
But we've been agreeing way too much tonight.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it.
I just think like the whole Yankee thing, because like everybody said, "Oh, it's the Yankees." There were other teams, other players that used it opening day on other teams, like the torpedo bat. So like,
and then I remember like the one thing that I saw was like the Reds started using it, like LE started using it, and I think the first game that their players started using it, they scored like 9 runs, and then they went like legitimately like 20 something innings runless after that.
35, yeah. I think
was it 35? It was even higher
35. Yeah.
Okay, it was 20 something at one point, I guess.
Yeah.
But like clearly
they scored in like the 8th inning of that of like it was like over 2 or 3 games or something.
Yeah. So
or 4 games, something like
clearly
that.
It didn't help them that much. Like
yeah. I just think it's the so a guy I work with is from the New York area and he's a Yankees fan, and he asked me, he's like, what do you think about the the bats. And I told him, I said, I think it's too early to tell. I was like, he's like, well, he's like, honestly, he said, he said, I'm a real fan. Like, he said, like, you know, they've hit like 20 at this point. They hit like 20 homers, like up to when we had this conversation. And I don't remember exactly when it was. Sometime last week, it was like a crazy number for the amount of games that they played. And I said, yeah, but you also have to remember, like, it's the
They're
Yankees.
really fucking good.
Right. They're really good. Two,
Yeah.
they play in like the most friendly like hitters ballpark, you know, in the entire league, especially for
Judge hit fucking 60 home runs last year. Like,
right.
They're good. They're really good.
And I think, and I told him, I was like, he was like, well, what about Jazz? And I was like, and remember last week on the show we talked
about it.
You know, halfway through the year, or he played 40-something games, hit 11 homers. Like, that's a lot for a guy like him.
Sure.
I just think it's being a left-handed hitter who can hit for a little bit of power at Yankee Stadium. And then you add guys like Bellinger, who is a big home run hitter, to a left-handed, you know, friendly ballpark. Goldschmidt, who obviously didn't have the year he had last year, but is on pace to be a Hall of Famer, possibly, is playing very well. Like, it's the Yankees. Like, they're very good, and they're very good at, you know, I think he was telling me like they did something differently this year with like their hitting. It's like, and I was like, exactly, like you're just proving at that point even more that I don't know that you could just say that these torpedo bats are everything. I just think it's too early to tell, really.
Does it help? Maybe it's possible.
I'm sure a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it helps them.
Like,
I don't know that it's like end all be all. Like, I don't think it's making these guys, you know, 50% better.
What
like
the fuck?
I didn't see it. What happened?
He dropped the ball.
Who did JT or?
Yeah.
You think that's an error?
I don't know. Maybe
I didn't see it.
I don't know. Would that be considered an error? I don't know.
Oh, well, it's a pass ball, so I guess all right. That's
well. He went to go grab it and he dropped it.
Yeah, I don't know that he's getting them anyway.
I don't know. I think he gets him.
I don't know that he gets him anyway. To be honest with you,
I think he gets him. I don't know if he may try to go tag him. I don't know if he gets him there, but I think if he throws it, if he picks it up with his bare hand,
maybe.
I think he gets him. But yeah. So apparently, other companies now are like making the bat. It's not just Victus anymore. Like
surprised they didn't put like a patent on that.
Yeah. Buy the copyright.
Yeah.
Or I guess that doesn't make sense. Copyright. You don't buy the copyright. You copyright. Right?
Right. Well, I think it's just a kind of a patent. Like, I can only make it this way. I'm not a lawyer.
Well, I was making a joke. I was making a joke of, like, copyright, but...
I gotcha.
Yeah, but I think other companies are, like, starting to make it...
But, like, I think the few Phillies have used it, and, like...
Yeah, Bohm... Oh
I haven't really seen much. I think Bohm went back to his regular bat, did he not?
I don't know. But he's really bad. I'm not a Bohm fan.
Yeah, it's well documented, I think. It's well documented.
He should have had the ball earlier in this inning too.
Yeah. When can we just? How's Aiden Miller doing? Can we just get him up here?
Yeah.
And take Bohm's spot, trade Bohm.
I think
for
the
something?
earliest you see him is September or next year.
Yeah, probably.
But listen, man, I think Crawford might be up here.
Think so.
Yeah. Not like next week, but I don't know what his numbers are, but I know his first few games he like crushed in AAA. But listen, man,
especially if they keep having problems in the outfield, like
yeah, he might be like a June, July ad. It's gonna be the same thing with Painter too. Like Painter's gonna come in June, July, and they're gonna say, you know, to him and Crawford, like, oh, like these are our additions. We didn't make any trades because you know these were our trade deadline acquisitions.
Well, they're still gonna have to go out there and add, but I hear what you're saying.
But I think that's gonna be the excuse. Is that
yeah?
I don't. If they don't make a move, I think they say, well, you know, we brought Painter up and we brought Justin Crawford up, so there's our additions.
Yeah, I disagree with that, and I think if that is their philosophy
you disagree
and a plan,
with what?
I still think you have to go add.
Oh, I'm not saying they don't have to. They probably do. I'm just saying if they don't.
No,
add,
and if they don't and they use that as the excuse, and they again fail in the playoffs, then Dombrowski literally can go away. Then you're done. Like that's the last straw, in my opinion. If you don't add at the deadline for a third year in a row.
Well, if it was up to you, you'd have fired him 3 years ago. So.
That's not true.
2 years ago, definitely.
No.
Definitely.
I didn't say fire him 3
After
years
Arizona,
ago.
yeah, after Arizona, you definitely said to fire him.
No, I don't think I did.
Him and Thompson, you said to fire them both.
Thompson, I might have been there.
Dude, you fucking wanted him fired a month after he took over for Girardi.
That's not true. I'm still not. I'm not a big fan. I wouldn't be sad to see him go, but I don't know that like a month after he got hired, I want him fired. Because I said the whole first year I said I disagree with every single move he's made, but they've all worked and they got to
the earliest that I heard you say to get rid of him was halfway through the 23 season.
That would have been after the World Series.
After the World Series,
yeah. That's probably fair. That's probably fair. Because I've disagreed with every move at that point. It just worked in the playoffs to spite every move.
Well, I think that happened more, I think, in 22 than it did in 23.
It happened a lot in 22. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But, yeah, I definitely think the earliest was mid-2023. And you've been on that train since. But you know what? We talked about it a little bit last week, I think, too. Like, he's doing things. He did things in the playoffs last year that people were asking him to do. Be aggressive in decision making. You know, he sat Bohm in Game 3, and he did a little bit this year too. God forbid. Oh, I thought that was going to hit Athens, Georgia. Did you see the way he flipped that bat?
Yeah.
Or he threw that bat?
Yeah.
Dude, he was like 60 feet short of a home run.
Do you know where is Athens, Georgia? Why is that
somewhere in Georgia?
Why is that the town?
That's the next biggest. That's like the next biggest city.
No chance. No chance it's the next biggest.
What's the next biggest?
I would imagine Savannah is
probably. Is Savannah bigger than Athens?
I would assume so.
Isn't that where like the college is in Athens?
What college?
Georgia.
I don't know.
That's why I said it, because I think that's where University of Georgia is.
All right,
now we're gonna look at Georgia population cities.
What else are we gonna do? What did you say? Athens?
Yeah.
Athens. Where the fuck is Athens is 6th, right behind Savannah. Savannah's fifth largest. So this is based on population.
Wrong, but what's number 2?
Augusta, Richmond County.
That's not even a fucking city. It's a county.
I'm sorry, Augusta in Richmond County. I guess they have 2 Augustas.
Oh.
So it's Augusta in
Augusta 1 and Augusta
County.
2. I mean, Augusta is where the Masters are. But
that's in isn't that like up north? Yeah, I think that's in
I have no idea.
I think that's in like Connecticut or Massachusetts or one of them.
What?
I think it's in New England. Augusta, is it not?
No, it's in Georgia.
Oh, is it in Georgia?
I thought you meant where's Athens in Georgia.
Oh, no.
No, Athens is in Georgia. That's where the Masters are.
Oh, Augusta. Oh, I don't know why I thought that was north.
I'm assuming it's one of the 2 Augustas in Georgia.
Yes. Okay, and I got you. So, yes.
I thought you were asking where is Augusta located in Georgia. I have no idea.
I got you.
I thought you meant, is it North Georgia?
Columbus, Georgia is 3rd. Macon.
That's not even a real place.
Macon, spelled Macon. Macon, Georgia is 4th, and then Savannah's 5th, Athens 6th.
That's fake.
What's fake? Macon or Columbus?
Both. That they're number 2. It should be Savannah and Athens.
It should be, but it's not. Savannah has 147,000 people.
So you say that about Arizona, and I say that about Georgia.
Sure.
Cities.
Savannah has 148,000 people. Athens has 130,000.
Okay. That's less than I thought for both, honestly.
Honestly, same. All right.
I've driven through Savannah. It's a beautiful town.
Have you? To go where? Where are you going? Florida?
Yeah. I slept through both of them.
That's quite the drive. I don't know that I could do that.
I would not suggest.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
And if you're going to do it, don't drive.
What are the other options?
Sleep.
But who's driving?
Anybody else.
I see.
Just not you.
I see. I got you. Makes sense.
So we did it twice. We drove twice to Florida, and both times I've driven a total of 5 hours altogether.
And how far is that? Like 18, 19, 20 hours?
So like on the GPS, it's like 14, but we probably did it in like 18-ish,
Okay.
17, 18.
You only drove 5 hours of them?
Of both trips. Both there and back. And it was one time. Like a straight 5 hours. It was like from like you know where like the what's it called? The border, like the North and South Carolina, north of the border, I think it's called.
I don't
Did we
know what
hear
you're
that?
talking about. No.
So like at the north, so like at the North Carolina South Carolina border, they have like this like
Like the Mason-Dixon line?
I don't know that's
I don't know where that is, but that kind of separates the North and South. Does it not?
in yes, in like slave times, yes, but like we're talking about this was like 2015. So
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think that really mattered much.
Also, the
But-
Mason-Dixon line was Maryland and Pennsylvania. I thought it was much further south.
No, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, it's just like a bunch of shops, restaurants. Like it's like they have like a Mexican like a huge Mexican restaurant. Like it looks like I've driven through it a few times. Looks like
Okay.
a great time. Never stopped there. I picked up on the way home the first time, like maybe like a few miles before south of the border, north of the border, whatever it's called, and I drove all the way to like Northern Virginia
Okay.
until we saw the first Wawa. Like that's how we knew, we're
They
almost
were
home.
back north.
Yeah.
Well, then no, there's Wawas down there in like Florida and shit.
In
isn't there?
2015, there weren't.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, that was like the last one was like Northern Virginia. I mean, I'm sure there were. I think there were probably a few in Florida, but like not where we were.
Right.
So, yeah, drove a total of 5 hours. 5 hours. Did I ever tell you about the time how we went to Denny's?
No, I don't think so.
So we get in the car, so we're driving down. This is the first time we're in South Carolina. Dude, South Carolina might be like one of the worst states in the country.
From your experience.
It's like bottom 3. It might be the worst.
Okay.
It might
Why
be,
is it
like,
so bad?
But like Alabama exists and like Mississippi exists. So
But have you
like-
been to those places?
No, I've seen enough that I need to. I'm from the outside. Looking in.
All
That's
right,
enough
fair
for me.
enough.
So we're driving and we're in South Carolina and I don't know if you know this, but like every exit there's like a Denny's and a Waffle House. Like
So I've
every
heard
exit.
Waffle House is big down there, but that makes sense.
Never had it. Looks amazing. So we're it's
It looks
4
amazing in
morning.
the worst way possible. But
Of course, like it's like one of those it's one of those movies that like, or like it's like a movie that like you love but it sucks like but you
like
love it
it's the
because it sucks.
Napoleon Dynamite of food. Like it's
See, I think Napoleon Dynamite's a good movie, but like
it's a terrible movie, but I enjoy it.
it's like I think when we did the movie thing last year, because I said this about Tenacious D, like Tenacious D is like a bad movie that it's so bad that it's good.
Yep.
So like I could see Waffle House being that.
Yeah.
Denny's is just bad,
Yeah.
like all around.
Well, I
So-
think the problem is Denny's tries too hard, whereas Waffle House knows what they are.
Sure, fair enough. So we're every exit we're just driving by. It's like, well, what can we get? And like you know how like the exit signs have like food, like
Yeah.
every exit was just Waffle House and Denny's. So we're like, all right, well it's 4 a.m. I mean, it's almost breakfast time. I guess we're having Denny's or Waffle House. So we get off. We're literally in the parking lot. It's like Waffle House is on one side, Denny's is on the other. Like, well, which one do we want to go to? And somebody made the decision of like, let's just go to Denny's.
That's
All
a bad
right, so-
decision.
Yeah. So we go to Denny's. We walk in. There's like maybe 3 tables taken, and the hostess is like, "Oh, come sit down." We sit down. She takes our order. She's like the only waitress, hostess working.
I got you.
So she takes our order. Everything's normal. She comes back with our food. She gives it to us. We're eating. It's fine. And she comes back. She goes, "So how is everything?" And we're like, "Oh, yeah, it's good, whatever." And she goes, "Oh, I'm surprised." We all looked at each other like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm surprised." And we're like, "Well, why?" She was like, "Well, our cook just freaked out and like quit, so our janitor is now the cook."
Our janitor.
Yeah, and we like in a total like sitcom like comedy movie like we all just like turn our head and like look into the kitchen, and in like such an Adam Sandler movie, he's like this, just waving with like the like carton of like fake scrambled eggs.
It's like the most South Carolina thing ever.
And all of a sudden, like all of us were like, "Wow, my stomach kind of hurts a little bit."
Yeah, like I feel uneasy.
Yeah, so we left, and it's been a story ever since. 10 years later.
That's your lesson to choose Waffle House next time.
Yes, I will. That's the last time I went to Denny's, and probably will be the last time ever. So
yeah, definitely. All right, so now that we finished up travel stories, you got anything else you want to talk about before we?
No, I mean we'll get into the draft a little bit these next couple weeks.
Yep, definitely.
I'm excited to see where the Flyers are going to pick. That'll be in the next couple months.
Big night tonight for them for the draft lottery, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they play it or?
They did not. The Flyers didn't play today. No. But Boston did.
I
Boston won.
Okay.
Who else won that they needed to lose? The Penguins won. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
And the Sabres won.
Oh, nice.
All three of those teams are kind of right near the Flyers in the standings.
Right.
So
that helps.
That definitely does help. Did you? So were you satisfied, or did you not care less about the outcome of the college tournament?
I'm sick about it. I would have won if Houston.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't watch a game, but from what I saw and read and heard, it was like a heartbreaker too.
Yeah. I don't understand what that last play of the game was. They inbound it. They take it up the floor. There's like 20, maybe like 15 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe a little less. It might have been like 9 seconds left. So Florida goes down. They hit the shots. They get fouled. They hit the shots. They go up to Houston. I think maybe like 9 seconds left. Comes up the court. I get like they kind of trap the guy in at the top of the key, and another guy comes around, and like the play is probably for him to catch and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And like he went to catch and shoot, and like another defender came around, like defend him and played him well. And like he went to go up and shoot, and like I guess the defender didn't really get like a good angle on him, so he like dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And like it just it was a really bad design play. It was horribly executed. It was a really honestly, the last like 7 minutes of that game was like a lot of fun to watch. It was like both sides just kept hitting shot after shot after shot after shot. And it looked like Houston was gonna steamroll early on.
Yep.
But yeah, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
I would have won.
That does suck.
Oh well.
Yep, absolutely. I didn't really have any rooting interest, but it's always fun to
college
to
basketball
watch.
is so much better than the NBA. It's not even funny.
It is, but I'm starting to get a little worried that it's not going to be as good as it once was.
What, college basketball?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the whole getting paid and NIL and transfers and
sure. I mean, that's going to be college football too.
No, I agree. I just, and I don't disagree. I know that was the big kind of talking point the last few years. I don't disagree with them getting paid, but I think it's gotten so outrageous and there's so much money in it that like it's just the things we loved about college sports are going away and turning into professional sports.
Sure.
Like they're just free
agents.
It's
just whoever has the most money. Yeah.
So I think like the longer the NIL thing is here, the less you're going to see like the Cinderella schools or the smaller schools make these deep runs, and it's just going to be the same power schools every year.
It's fair.
So that I don't love, but I think it takes the allure of the tournament away.
But I think using this year as an example is probably a good one because like historically Alabama's not very good and like they had a really good year. Historically, Florida's really hasn't been good in a while, and like they had a good year. I mean, you have your Dukes and
all right, but what do those two schools have in common?
They're both in the SEC.
That and they're both fucking gigantic football schools with a lot of football money.
Sure.
So they could pay players
No, absolutely. Yeah. But you could make the argument that it's specifically in basketball, it might help in
Yeah.
a way because teams like Florida and Alabama and really the SEC in general
Sure.
is like really not great in college basketball, and like it probably
Sure.
could help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
Even out the talent a little bit. I think that's
Yeah.
But it sucks for places like Temple and like
Well, they don't have
in
a
football
shot.
and basketball. They don't have a shot at all.
No shot.
And they didn't have a shot before, but like now they really
No.
don't.
Like, I mean, even a school like Villanova, who like who's had a really good like history. Like, I don't think they really have much of a shot anymore.
No, I think they'll be okay. I think the coaching thing. So like Villanova is a place where like you're not going to go. The one and done is a little overrated in my opinion. I think everybody thinks every school is one and done. If you look at the top 25 NBA players, more than half of them played 4 years in college.
Yeah, but I think it's becoming a different time though.
I'm just talking about the star talent.
Yeah.
The star talent in the NBA, more than half went to a 4-year school, like
Sure.
played 4 years. But that's kind of what Villanova is. Villanova is not really like a one and done kind of place. And I think you're seeing places like Florida and Alabama and the SEC schools outside of like Tennessee, who even Tennessee has guys that play 4 years. But they're just that type of school, and it's just you have to get the coach right. And like I like the guy from Maryland who they just brought in, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll take advantage of it a little bit because kids want to come play for Villanova more than they want to go play for like, you know. I would say people probably want to come play for Villanova more than they want to play for like LSU. Like, what does LSU have? Like, basketball program. I mean,
yeah,
obviously
don't
they
know.
have money, but
Yeah, they have money. They got the football money.
sure. But I think
And
Villanova.
I imagine-
Villanova is going to get money too, and most of that's going to be for basketball.
Sure.
Because football is a Division 3, right? Or the Division 3?
Who?
The Villanova football.
Yeah,
think they're Division 3.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So I think it benefits Villanova.
Yeah. Yeah, it could.
But
So, all right, that's all I have this week. Unless you had anything else, I think we're gonna get out of here.
nope.
All right.
I think that's it.
So that just about does it. I'm kind of digging these Tuesday nights. I'm not gonna lie. 'Cause Mondays are always so damn hectic for me. So
Yeah, like obviously I love doing the show, but like waking up on a Monday and being like, okay, I have to. It's the first day of the week.
Yep.
I'm exhausted because I go to bed late Sunday night every
Yep.
Sunday night.
Yep.
Because I always say to myself, it's 11:30, like it's Sunday, like I'll be all right. It's tomorrow's Monday, and then you wake up and you go to work all day, and you come home, and you obviously you have more kids than I do, but like coming home and
a lot.
dinner and dishes and getting the kid to bed, and then it's like popping on, and then obviously I enjoy it, but the first day of the week was a lot.
There's a lot. I agree. I don't even remember why we like chose Monday. It was just kind of what we did, but
Yeah, I think we were just like, oh well, like we don't really want to do a weekend, but like I think it was just like Monday or Tuesday, and it was like, well, let's just do Monday because it's early in the week. You know,
Yeah.
it's we could cover the Eagles one day later, and it turns out like when we had to do Monday night shows Tuesdays,
yep.
it was the same thing.
Yep.
So
Although, full disclosure, if my men's league hockey team makes the playoff run, we might have to move some days around because I got like a Tuesday game in there
yeah,
someday.
you're good.
But other than that, we'll figure that out. It's in a
Yeah.
couple weeks, so we'll figure that out then. But until then, that'll do it for this week, and we'll see everybody next Tuesday. See you then.